Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday, and welcome to Wake Up with YPN. My name is Jenna Pope, co-chair of Iowa City YPN, and we are joined today by Brad Comer, the Iowa City Assessor. Brad is here to share some information about homestead tax exemptions, including a new homestead tax exemption for claimants who are 65 years of age or older. This is great information that you can share with your clients, so thank you for joining us and educating us on these opportunities, Brad.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome. Sorry, I woke up with a cold this morning.
Uh-oh.
So, Brad, this is your second time joining us, but for those who may have missed your earlier appearance, can you please share a little bit about yourself and how long you've served as the Iowa City Assessor?
Sure. I've been in this line of work for, I think I got into it in 1995, so I've been doing it a little while now. Time flies. I started in the Iowa City Assessor's office in 2002. And my position was as a deputy assessor up until 2015. And at that time, I was appointed as the Iowa City Assessor. We handle all the properties within Iowa City. There is a county assessor that handles everything outside of Iowa City. County, but yeah, that's my little bit of me.
Yeah, thank you. So let's just jump right in. Can you explain what the homestead tax exemption is for those who may not be familiar?
Sure. The homestead credit was the original homestead credit was adopted, I think in the late 70s, if I'm not mistaken. But it's intended to encourage home ownership for those who own a home and occupy their home. It reduces their tax bill by a certain. It actually takes off $4,850 off of your property assessment, and you multiply that number by the local levy rate to figure out what the amount of the credit is for any jurisdiction. It's different based on the local jurisdiction's tax levy rate. But yeah, it was originally created just to incentivize home ownership.
Wonderful. So what is needed for a client to be eligible for a homestead tax exemption?
Again, really, if you live in the home, I got some notes here. If you own and occupy the home on July 1st of each year, you declare residency in Iowa City or in Iowa for income tax purposes, and then you occupy the home for 6 months, at least 6 months of the year. That's basically the general criteria for qualifying. There are a couple of side notes to that. For those that are in the military or in a nursing home, they don't have to be in their home for that time period. They would still be eligible for the homestead. Everybody else would need to follow those guidelines. I think we're going to get to this later also, but the credit does stay on there as long as you live there then once you sign up and remain eligible.
Perfect. So on May 4th, Iowa established a homestead tax exemption for claimants 65 years or older. Can you explain how this new exemption is different than previous ones?
Sure, yeah. Everything is exactly the same, except now there's some age additional benefits for those that are 65 and over. The old form obviously didn't have a place for you to enter your birth date. The new form does. If you are 65 and over, as of January 1st of 2023, you would qualify if you meet all those other guidelines where you live and own and occupy the home for 6 months out of the year. Now if you're 65 and over, there will be an additional amount.
Perfect. And then does the credit increase?
Yes. So as I said, for the original credit was $4,850. The new for just this 1 year, it's going to be $3,250 added on to that amount. Then every year after that, that'll double that amount. It'll be $6,500 on top of the $4,850. And so when I'm using these numbers, I hope it does cause some confusion. So the $4,850 credit that is in effect for everybody right now, in Iowa City, it amounts to about $186 a year off of your property tax bill. This new credit for the first year will take off about $124 in Iowa City, and then the following year it would be an additional 250 approximately. The levy rates change every year, so we don't know going forward what they'll be. That's just our best guess. So currently 186 if you're 65 and over. So when you sign up for this year, you'll get $124 on top of that. The following year, it'd be $250 on top of that as an estimate.
Thank you. And so just to clarify, this exemption only reduces the taxable value of the property and does not directly reduce the amount of property tax you pay.
So it does. It's correct that it does reduce the taxable value, which will reduce your tax bill. If you didn't sign up, if you sign up for it, you'll have a lower tax bill than if you don't sign up for it if you're qualified. So it is. I would say it is a direct reduction in your tax bill.
Perfect. What information should realtors share with older clients who may be eligible for this exemption but have not applied before?
Sure. First of all, I just want to make sure everybody understands we don't know anybody's age unless you fill out this form. So if you don't submit a new form to us, we will not. You won't get the 65 plus credit. So for realtors with clients or just people in the community that it might not be comfortable estimating what age people are sometimes, but it just makes people aware that there is an additional credit for if you're 65 and over. Obviously, we want you to. I think realtors do a really good job of getting people signed up for the homestead credit in general when there are transactions, and continue to do that. The new form now, I guess I would just make sure that everybody. You probably have files with the old form. I'd encourage you to have all the realtors be using the new form, which will have the birth date section at the top. So people that are eligible for it will be getting that credit.
And excuse me, how can homeowners file for the homestead tax exemption? Do they have to fill out the paper form, or are they able to do this online as well?
There are multiple ways. They can fill it out online. They can fill it out by paper. At this point, I would encourage people to come to our office if they can, because then they will know that they did it and that we received it. If you come into our office, you're going to get a receipt immediately. We can guide you through the form. We can answer any questions, but we do accept them by regular mail. You would have to have that in the mail postmarked by July 1st. For it to be relevant for this current first year of it. We also have it on our website, and you can sign up, and that's a pretty simple way. You can just click a button and it'll come through. But I just want to make sure everybody understands that it's likely that all those options are going to work just fine. We just aren't getting receipts out to people very quick because we have been pretty overwhelmed as an office. We've got a pretty steady stream of people coming into our office, stacked this high of forms, and our software isn't ready for us to input ages yet. So the receipts will be coming, but it might not be real timely. So if that's a concern to you and you want to be sure that we've received it, coming into our office is probably the most satisfying way to do that at this point.
Okay. When can clients expect to see the credit on their tax bill?
So you're signing up for the 2023 tax assessment, which will not be reflected on your tax bill until September of 2024. The tax bill that you get this September is the 2022 assessment. So so you won't see it immediately, but it'll be on the September of 23, and then September of 24. And then the following year, September of 25, will be when it gets to that full amount, the $6,500 additional amount.
Perfect. What are some resources that realtors and clients can use to educate themselves further on the homestead tax exemption?
The Iowa Department of Revenue website has some real basic information. There's not a lot of information to find out there, but I guess I would encourage anybody with questions to contact the Iowa City Assessor or your local jurisdiction, your assessor's office, wherever that may be for Iowa City. Contact us, and we can answer any questions or guide people through the forms or talk about eligibility, any of those things. It's really probably the quickest way to deal with it, and we're happy to talk to anybody about it.
Wonderful. Is there anything else that you want to add that we haven't gone over yet?
Yeah, I had a few points I wanted to make. We've had just some general questions from the public when they've been filling out the form. Well, that leads me to another thing. When you come into our office to fill it out, we've highlighted a certain few that are the most important categories. There's some things that aren't as important, like parcel number is one thing that a lot of people have had trouble finding if they're not familiar with our website or filling out the form. We can put the parcel number in for you, and same with there's a question asking whether they own it by it. What their ownership level is, basically, like if it's a deed or a contract, or I'm not sure what the other options are, and ask for the recorder's book and page, which we've got all of that information. So if people don't know that, it's okay. You can skip that, but you're also welcome to call in and we can guide you through that part of it. The important parts, really, we obviously need to know your birth date. We'd like to have contact information so we can send a receipt back to you. We need signature, we need the property address. If you're not going to give us the parcel number, then we do need the property address for sure. And we probably should include the property address anyway.
Yes.
A couple more things. I think I mentioned this before, but owners are only allowed the homestead on their primary residence. If you have a rental property or if you have a second home on the lake or something, that you're only eligible for one homestead, and it has to be on the one that's your primary residence. Another question that we've had are, do both owners need to be 65 or over? And the answer is no, they don't. But you need to, the person that is 65 or over needs to have their name on the deed. If they're not, you could be married and only have one person on the deed. And if that person isn't the 65-year-old, then you need to add their name to the deed. So for the July 1st sign up, if they sign up after that, you can still sign up at any time. You just would miss the very first year if you sign up on July 10th. So we encourage everybody to get signed up. The last point I think I mentioned is you would come to our office if you're living within the city limits of Iowa City. If you're in Johnson County but not in Iowa City, you would apply with the Johnson County Assessor. And I think we've had some questions about if they had to sign up with both of us, and definitely not. There's no reason where you would need to sign up a homestead in more than one jurisdiction. Just need to sign up with the assessor where you live. I think that covers all of the things I wanted to add.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for coming. If nobody has any questions, then I think we can kind of wrap it up here. So we really appreciate your time and all the work that you've been doing for the city of Iowa City. So thank you so much.
Thank you very much. Get the word out about the homestead. We want everybody to be signed up for it.
Yes, absolutely. Have a great rest of your week.
Thank you.